Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. How you doing tonight, Jen?
I am doing great. I'm very excited about tonight's show. I have my coffee all ready to go, and I am hyped to get into it.
Yeah, we're going to get into it real good, Jen. Real good.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Joe. I've got an interesting story about something that happened this week.
I know what this is going to be. Yeah, tell us. We've got a lot to talk about. Okay. Tom, we've got a lot to talk about, though, so try to make it quick. That's all
I'll try and make it quick.
Oh,
all right. So,
here we go.
I've been going out for runs in the morning because I wait too much.
You've already gone too long. No one wants to know why you're going for runs.
Well, no, this is an important part of the story because
everyone knows why you're going for runs. Same reason everybody else goes for a run.
You are making this story much longer.
Agreed.
I'm trying to build up to actually run because it's been so long since I worked out that it's mostly I've been walking and jogging in some sort of mix, right? And trying to build up more jogging, less walking, right? I'm about 3/4 of a mile down the boardwalk of South Beach here at Staten Island, and it's very early in the morning. And some guy is by himself. He starts waving me down. And at first I'm suspicious because it's very early in the morning and I'm alone and this guy is waving me towards me. He's got a fishing pole and he's
Oh my God.
Great. See it too long. There it goes.
Perfect timing.
There it goes.
Well, somebody finish the story.
Yeah, should we try to guess what happens with the fishing?
I know what happens in the story because he told it to me. Do I just tell you what happens, or we have to wait for Tom to come back?
No.
There he goes. I will.
Wait, he's in chat. What happened? How's he? Oh,
he's on his phone.
Oh my God.
So we'll do something we don't normally do. Usually we just continue on without him, but I guess we'll wait for him.
I guess that was perfect.
It froze in the perfect.
I told him he needs to be quick. He didn't listen. And I'm gonna have to cut this out of the video too. That's work.
Making more work for you.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna happen. So
well, let's not say anything bad then, just in case.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Oh my God.
We're going to have to make him buy a new computer again. I'm going to have to pick it out for him, I think.
Oh, boy.
The top tier Cool Luke is on the audio recording. You'll never even know this happened because we'll just make Tom start his story again. We're not introducing the guest. We can't. No. I can't do it. We have to wait.
Wow.
See what Tom's doing.
Restart.
He's
typing. Let's see.
He's not in the chat, so he doesn't know what we say.
I'll finish the story at the end. No.
Yeah, let's do it. I think that's a good idea, actually. That's kind of fun.
All right.
To wait the whole time.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, everybody, but Tom seems to have disconnected. I'm sure he'll be back any minute. So we're just going to move on. Sorry, you're not going to hear the end of that story. I have two things I'm going to say, things that happened this week. Well, one of them I don't think anybody wants to hear about. But I saw the movie Air this week, the movie about the Michael Jordan shoes and Nike making the shoes and whatnot. It was a good movie. I recommend it, even if you're not huge into sports. But at the end of the movie, they have during the credits, they throw up some subtitles of things that happened after the movie. Michael's mother went on to do this and that, and Michael Jordan went on to do that. One of the things was that Michael Jordan makes $400 million a year for his shoes, just doing nothing, because of the royalty rights. Yes. He just makes $400 million a year on his product sales, and he doesn't do anything, just because his name is on them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Makes you feel good, huh?
Yeah. No.
Oh, and he just sold his stake in the basketball team that he owned. I think he put $200 and something million when he bought it, I think he just sold his stake for $2 billion, I think, or something like that. So it's more money.
Yeah.
3 billion.
Great.
Sorry, 3 billion. Thank you, man.
He needs it.
Yeah.
What do you even do with all of that money? I feel like at some point it just gets to be like what do you even do?
I don't even know. I know his mother runs a bunch of charities, so I'm sure some of that money probably goes into those charities. But yeah, he was a gambler. That's true. He's known for gambling, so he might lose some of that money, but who knows?
I'm just laughing at Rayor in chat. I found a quarter picking up trash in front of my house. I'm so happy for you. You're almost there.
You don't make $400 million in passive income just because you were the greatest basketball player that ever lived, and you figured out a good way to continually monetize it. You should actually thank his mom, because she's the one who kind of broke the deal.
She's the one who made them like make the shoes, right?
Well, she was the one who made them pay him a part of all their revenue based on any products with his name on it. And that had never been done before. He was the first athlete that ever had that kind of a deal, ever, for like an apparel or shoe. So, yeah,
amazing.
It's a good story. Good movie. Anyway, while we wait for Tom, we might as well just move on down the road. Jen, can you tell everybody here what's happening?
I could, but you're being extremely rude to our guest.
Oh,
by not announcing her. This is a shit show tonight, everybody.
I'm so sorry, because Tom's not here. It threw me off. All right, let's go back to that. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I want to introduce our special guest. We're going to be talking about a lot of things tonight, and we're going to be talking about something. We're going to be doing a deep dive into Bain and Chiad, and we thought, who else to bring on our episode about Bain and Chiad, but Bain and Chiad herself. That sounds weird saying that. You might also know her from the Lightswork podcast. Welcome, Grace. How are you doing?
I'm really great. I'm excited to be here. I love hanging out with you guys. And it's been a long week. I was sick. So this is I feel like I've been gradually getting better, and I feel like this is going to push me over the edge, and I'm going to be completely healed by the time we're done with this podcast.
You're giving us a lot of credit there. It's a lot of pressure on us. All right. Now I will say, Jen, what's happening?
Hurry up and grab your first sister, because it's time for What's Happening. A photo of two hands on a keyboard set Twitter of Time ablaze this week. You heard correctly. The official The Wheel of Time Twitter account, run by the person the fandom has named the Tweeter of Chaos, posted the photo in response to a tweet from friend of the show, Vance, the Bard of the Red Hand. Vance was taking part in a Twitter thread that said, "Drop a cool photo of you doing your job." The Tweeter of Chaos subsequently tweeted a photo of what seems to be a man's hands, poised on laptop keys, specifically, as discovered by internet sleuths, the keys S, D, and C, the C having two fingers on top of it. So I wanted to think of what possible secret messages this could be. I came up with a couple of them. One possible secret message could be, Swan doesn't come to Kyrian.
Ooh.
Like that one.
I believe it. I believe that one.
Okay. How about Sildam Damani Christmas card? No, maybe not.
I like that one.
Okay. All right.
So,
anybody else? Anybody else have an SDCC message?
I want to say this, right? The obvious one I think that everyone was pointing out was San Diego Comic-Con. So
I know. I was going to say it at the end.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to.
Obviously, it's San Diego Comic-Con. But
you're acting like it's a foregone conclusion that that's what this was.
I mean,
so you think it was done purposely with the fingers placed there?
Absolutely.
You don't think so?
No. Tom, you're back.
I am back. Oh man, that story was great. I can't believe you didn't hear any of it. It's clearly obvious. Like he's got like either that, or he was trying to do like that old okay thing where like if you look at this, I get to slap you on the back of the neck.
I thought that at first.
That was the other thing, because he's got his hands placed very peculiarly on the keyboard.
Oh, that's kind of very close to like the standard position you would have your fingers in when you're typing or getting ready to type.
It's close to, except instead of the A or the F, 2 fingers are on the C.
Yeah, his thumb is like awkwardly shoved onto the C as well instead of being on the space bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Grace, what about you? You think you have other thoughts on this SDCC?
I do. Well, I think it is SDCC, but I think there's more to it. So I think that there's also things that we're going to see at SDCC that are the same letters. So like, for example, some dumb character casting.
Oh.
There you go.
Stupid Dane children clip.
I like that one.
Sexy Donal Croons Coyley.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Serving drinks with Kiera Coveney.
Ooh.
Okay, that was good.
And finally, someone dropped the cue cards.
Oh, definitely. Okay, I want to make a mild edit to your second to last one. How about sipping drinks with Kiera Coveney?
Ooh, even better. Yes.
Yeah. That sounds like a fun thing to do. All right, I've got a couple here too. Let me run them by you. Sugar Daddy Coffee Creamer.
Okay.
Stop doing cat calls. Or
Possible.
this is what I really
PSA.
think. I think he was typing a note to himself. Send Daniel cold cuts.
Like Daniel Henney?
Yeah, Daniel Honey.
Sure,
Daniel Honey likes
it has
sandwiches.
to be somewhat related to Wheel of Time.
Yeah, send Daniel cold cuts. He was making a note to himself.
Oh, Tom, you want to see if you got any off the top of your head? Okay.
Off the cuff.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's pointing to possible exciting news or footage at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. And I think it'd be really funny if they like announce the casting of the person that they still haven't announced from it was 2 years ago Comic-Con.
Natasha O'Keefe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if she's Lanfear, they're not going to announce it. We're not going to find out until
Yeah.
the episode.
I would be surprised if her name isn't in the credits until the episode after she appears.
Right.
But we know she's on the show
That's not a joke.
already, though.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
Weird.
Just a reminder for people who are listening, unless you covered this while I was in computer hell. San Diego Comic-Con is July 20th through July 23rd of this year.
It's got to be trailer, right? Or teaser drop, I'm assuming.
I hope not,
yeah.
because I would like to get that before WatCon, but
Well, maybe so we thought, right, the teaser would come out around now, if not, by the end of the month. But we kind of already got a teaser. Right?
yeah, we did.
We got a little bit of a teaser. We got two kind of teasers. The other one was behind the scenes footage. So maybe it's the trailer. It could be the trailer.
That could be the full trailer. I wouldn't mind that. That's like a month and a week out from the show.
Is there a scheduled panel though for Prime?
I have no idea. I don't know what they don't release that stuff usually.
Oh,
Actually, they should release it soon, right?
I don't know. When did we know about it last time?
I never keep an eye on that because it's not like we're going to go.
I know, but let me look it up. San Diego Comic-Con.
Prime Video's there, yeah.
Oh, all right.
They're one of the sponsors of San Diego Comic-Con.
Look at them. You go, Prime Video.
You go.
You go, Glenn.
I'm sure that's how you get panel time.
Okay, so I have one more tonight. In Wheel of Time theater news, 2 stars of the upcoming second season will be performing in a production of Romeo and Juliet at the Prague Shakespeare Company. So Guy Roberts, who plays Uno, posted on Instagram, experienced the agony and ecstasy of true love with Romeo and Juliet on August 19th at HAMU from Prague Shakes and Shakespearovsky Slavnosti, which is like the Shakespeare Summer Festival. Directed by PSC Artistic Director Guy Roberts, starring Taylor Napier as Romeo and Jessica Boone as Juliet. So I believe that all 3 of these actors have been involved in previous productions with this company. I asked Guy if this would be available to stream, and he said, come to Prague and see it in person. So I'll be expecting my plane ticket and check from my hotel stay to be arriving in the mail any day now.
Maybe you can get tickets to the actual play for free. That's about the most you'd probably get, though.
I'll pay for the show. He just has to get me there and put me up in a hotel. I mean, I have to at least pay for the show. Anyway, Jessica and Taylor are gorgeous, talented individuals, and this will most likely be amazing. You should definitely go if you have a chance.
So I'm very enthusiastic about it.
No, I am. The only thing that's like weird about it is that
they're old.
It's like they're old, and it's like an incredibly sexy picture. Like Romeo and Juliet's like not totally the sexy. I don't know. Like, I mean, it is kind of, but not really because they're like 13 in the play.
It's romantic, not sexy.
Yeah, I guess. But this picture, like, I wouldn't look at this picture and be like, "Oh my God, they're Romeo and Juliet." This looks like,
yeah. It looks like a late night cable version of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. Right. No, it's like Body Heat
2. Why can't I think of the name of the?
A Streetcar Named Desire.
Thank you. A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like a little.
Taylor has never skipped ab day. That's what that picture tells me. Ever.
No,
so Guy Roberts posted this picture of his wife with Taylor.
Yeah. And he directed them in it.
Yeah. Very secure marriage.
Maybe he likes it.
Proud of him.
Maybe he likes to watch.
I mean, yeah. Do you think this picture is photoshopped?
I doubt it.
I thought it was at first.
I think every picture is photoshopped.
Oh, you mean like, no, just like you mean like airbrushed?
Like they weren't actually together.
That's what I thought you meant. And no, they have to be. That's impossible.
No, I don't think that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it was a composite photo.
You don't think it's a composite?
No, it's definitely shot. Like, I don't know why they would do that. They're too like intertwined for that.
Well, I don't know. All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep staring at this picture and zoning out if we don't continue. So back to you, Joe.
He's taken, Jen. He's taken.
I know.
Imagine you stole Taylor away from
anyway.
Rafe. That would be. We'd have to kick you off the podcast.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
It would ruin the wheel of time because Rafe would be so depressed and it would be all Jen's fault.
Yeah. We'd have to probably go off the air, quote unquote.
I'd be with Taylor Napier. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It would just happen to coincide.
I love my husband.
It would happen to coincide with season 3 where he probably is going to die. So.
All right. So he won't be on the show anymore.
Yeah. And then you're free to have him all to yourself.
Okay. I'll just bide my time.
Thanks for ruining the show for us, Jen. Tom's the one. Tom's the ruiner, Jen, not you. All right, let's move along.
Yes.
Welcome back to another edition of Where's What Origins. We're here to find What Origins, and I think we have some information. We brought our special guest in, Grace from the Lights Work podcast, and she promised us that she had some information on What Origins. So Grace, tell everyone, what do you know?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of research at the Lights Work. We look into all things related to the fandom, and we have a lot of connections, really important connections. And after a lot of work, like literally probably a week's worth of research, I'm here to tell you that there's no news on Where's What Origins.
We probably brought this up before, but now that we saw the SDCC Tweeter Chaos photo, was he trying to tell us that we're going to get the last 2 episodes at San Diego Comic-Con? Is there anything to allude to What Origins in that picture?
Well, what's written on that keychain?
Tweeter Chaos.
Tweeter of Chaos.
In the old tongue. Yes, we forgot to mention that before. So that little keychain that he has, someone pointed it out that this is the same keychain that he had posted back with JordanCon 2022 with his Twitter of Time ribbon. So he apparently was at JordanCon 2022. None of us noticed him. But he had the same keychain in the picture. So, Tom, any thoughts?
No. I have no thoughts, Joe.
Jen, anything?
No, nothing. No thoughts at all.
Yeah. Thanks though, Grace. We appreciate you.
I tried really hard.
All right, let's go into the news. We've got a lot of news to talk about. We're going to try to get through it quickly because we do want to get into a deep dive of Bain and Chiad. but we've got a lot of news to talk about, so let's get right into it. The Wheel of Time TV series wiki posted on Twitter the last 2 episode titles. Remember when we'd gotten 6 of the episode titles, I believe, a few weeks ago. We've got the other 2 episode titles and also the writers on each episode. Now, this looks like it was pulled, I believe, they said, from the WGA directory, which is the Writers Guild of America. So this should be right. I don't see anybody putting bogus information on there. I think you need to actually like have an account, and you need some sort of membership to do that. So I wanted to talk first about the titles because we did talk about the first 6 titles a few weeks back. So the 2 titles are, let's see, hold on. Dice Daimar and What Was Meant to Be. All right.
Dice
So
Daimar is episode 7, right?
we don't know what episode number it is.
Oh, I thought they were.
Yeah.
I thought they were in order. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, there's nothing to say that they were in order, or although they could be in order.
I mean, What Was Meant to Be.
Those don't
sounds
sound
like that. You don't think that could be the final episode? I don't think Dice Daimar is.
Dice Daimar
seventh
would sound like
episode.
7 to me.
Yeah.
But the last one,
Could be.
if he's like, announcing himself as the dragon.
And I'm sorry, I was very busy today. I didn't have much time, but so I didn't look up what these are actual chapters from the books, I believe, both of them, and I didn't have time to look up which chapters they're from. So, but Dice Daimar is clearly from the Great Hunt, I think, right? Is this the chapter where Rand's getting the letters and burning them in the fireplace, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to get everybody's thoughts on these titles. What episodes do you think these are? What numbers? Anyone have any thoughts?
Well, and Us just put in chat that What Was Meant to Be is the last chapter of The Great Hunt. So
there you go.
I'm going to stick with episode 8 for that.
So if you remember, we actually put our guesses down last time for the episodes, the numbers, and none of us had tagged 8 yet. So that will fit in. Tom, do you want to count this as your episode 8 as well?
Yeah, that works for me for episode 8.
Grace, what about you? What do you think?
I also think it's episode 8.
It's unanimous, everybody. Let's move on. Dice Daimar.
I don't know. What did I say for all the other ones?
I could just tell you what you have left.
Yes.
Sure.
Let's see. Jen already used 6, 5, 4, 2, 3. So you only have
7
7.
and 8?
Yeah, you have 7.
No, I'm gonna have to change that up. What's like episode 5 or 4? I don't know. What are my 4 and 5s?
Your 4 and 5s are Eyes Without Pity and Damane.
Eyes Without Pity. I don't know. Make that number 7 and put Dice Daimar at 4.
4?
Yeah.
All right. Tom, you have used 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, 5, 4, 7. So you don't have a 6.
Yeah, sure. I'm good. Dice Daimar works for episode 6 for me.
How about you, Grace?
I think it's probably early late for it. It's probably earlier in the season, but
yeah,
I'm comfortable enough not to ask you to rattle off which ones I put as 3, 4, and 5.
What do you think, Grace? Do you have any thoughts about this episode?
Yeah, I think it's 4 because isn't the shot of Rosamund Pike in the big dress from Kyrian, isn't that from episode 4? I think we know that this is from episode 4. So I'm going to go with
yes, it is.
Kyrian being episode 4 and being called Dice Daimar.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think I'm on the same page as you, Tom, where I only have 6 left, so I might have to change. Oh no, I didn't.
What do we make 4? Do we make 4 the same?
Eyes Without Pity. Yeah.
Yeah, we can flop 4 and 6.
I'm gonna flop them. Let's flop
Eyes Without
them.
Pity means like nothing to me. I don't know. I can't think of what even chapter that is.
That's a good.
That's when
that's a good
Perrin
title
and
that really
Egwene
could be any episode.
Right.
That's Perrin and Egwene running from the birds, the ravens.
Yeah.
Into the steading with Elias.
It's a great chapter title name.
Like the Shanshan could be like Eyes Without Pity to
Shanshan,
Egwene
the Forsaken, the White Cloaks, the Aiel. Like
I think it'll have Perrin and Elias. Why not? Because that would go with their chapter in the book. And we know we have Elias.
Yeah, that puts it up maybe even early. I don't know. It's tough. Some of these are a little clearer than others. I agree. I think if that shot of Maureen looks like she's in Kyrian is episode 4, that would probably make sense that it would be this episode. Because I mean, how many episodes do you think they're going to spend in Kyrian?
No idea.
2 or 3.
Really? That many?
Yes.
I was thinking 1, maybe 2.
I think that they're not going to build the carry-on set for 1 episode.
Yeah, there was like that whole sketch of the whole city with the tree and everything, right? That we saw.
We don't know if that was anything real, though.
Okay.
I think you're going to get it.
I know, but it's out there.
Rand might be in that city for most of an episode before Moraine and Lan show up.
That's a good point.
And then you probably have an episode or 2 with them there.
So it could be even later because it could. Now, if Moraine's already there in episode 4,
they're also just they're gonna leave and go to farm. Like I don't think there's gonna be like episodes where they're traveling on horseback anymore.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking maybe it would be later then, right? Because you'd feel like unless Rand could show up there and then there's another episode and then you go back to it, right, where Moraine and Lan show up or something.
Is it gonna be weird if like Moraine and Lan just like run into Rand like randomly? Or do you think that?
No, I think they'll be tracking him.
She's going there for a different reason. I think they're tracking him. I thought she was going to go there for like her own business.
Okay, I want to ask questions then. What do you think, Grace? What do you think? Do you think Moraine, if Rand is in Kyrian, you think Moraine's going there for Rand, or you think she's going there for other reasons, her own reasons?
I think she's going there for her own reasons. I don't think Rand is in Kyrian. I think they meet up somewhere else.
Oh, don't do that.
Sorry.
I haven't even thought about that. Like, where else would they meet up? Just some maybe other village or something?
Well, we know that shot of him with the hood on is from episode 8. So he ends up in Falm. So maybe they just everybody's in Falm at the end.
Yeah, that I agree with.
I'm throwing it out there because I don't know. The episode from the teaser that we got where they're walking through like some, I don't know if it's a tunnel or a tight alley or whatever, with smoke.
Yeah.
He's got the torch and it's Lan behind him and possibly Moraine behind them. You think that's Falm? That wasn't a challenge. I was just asking a question. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to trick you. I felt like that came off like, well, do you really? That's not what I meant. Like, I don't know where it is. It's a smoky place. It could be anywhere.
No,
that could be the horns going off, you know?
I think in the back of my mind, I was imagining that scene as Kyrian and like they were going to Barthane's manor or something together. That's sort of what I thought, but maybe not. No, I'm gonna change that to yes, it's in Falm.
I didn't go back and check his outfit. I don't think he's wearing like the cloak though that he is in the picture though. So I think he's wearing the other outfit that we see him in for the other scenes. So I want to also talk about the writers, right? We've got the names of the writers for all the episodes. So episode 1, we knew this already from when they had released a picture of the script. A Taste of Solitude is written by Amanda Kate Schumann. So she wrote episode 2 of season 1, and she also co-wrote episode 7. Episode 2 is written by Catherine McKenna, who co-wrote episode 7 with Amanda Kate Schumann in season 1. John McCutcheon is writing episode 3. The only thing that I could find was that he directed 3 episodes of Impulse. I don't really know that very well, but it was a TV show. Looks like it lasted for 2 seasons. We got Dave Hill returning for episode 4 again. He did episode 4 last season. He's a Game of Thrones alum. He wrote a lot of episodes for them. We got another new writer, Rohit Kumar, who's writing episode 5. And I knew the name looked familiar and I couldn't figure it out why until I looked them up. And they wrote on 13 Reasons Why, the Netflix show. That's where I saw the name from. Yeah. They wrote an episode in season 2, and then they were the story editor for all of season 3. Episode 6, we have Rami Park, who wrote What Origins for the first season and possibly those missing episodes. We've got Justin Jewel Gilmore returning. She had written episode 7 of last season. And then episode 8 is Rafe and Timothy Earl. I could not find Timothy Earl on IMDb, so I don't know who that is.
Good old Timothy.
The only people that aren't coming back are the ones that wrote episode 3.
The Clarkson twins. Well, Celine Song as well.
Okay.
Celine Song is not back. I think everybody else is back. Yeah, because we got 2 new. Well, no, we got 3 new writers. So somebody else is gone too.
Yeah, but Rafe wrote 2 episodes.
Oh, that's right. He did. Yeah, he wrote 2 episodes last year. Yeah.
3 years ago.
So there's our lineup of writers. Not that we're very familiar and well-versed in TV show writing, but does anyone have any comments or thoughts about these?
The only Timothy Earl I can find is a professor of archaeology. He's a writer. He's written books, but they're about archaeology.
Is that a hint, maybe, that episode 8 is going to focus around archaeology?
You would think that would be episode 4 or 5. Whenever you see the statue of Chiad.
Yes. The Choden Call.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not the same Timothy Earl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there was an actor listed as Timothy Earl. I did not find anyone with any writing credits, so I'm curious. I wonder if it's like somebody under a pseudonym.
Maybe.
No thoughts.
No.
So do you think, right? Something I wanted to point out. We got Dave Hill back. He's doing episode 4 again. So do you think we're going to get like an exciting action-packed episode in this season for episode 4? That's why they gave him that spot.
Yes.
Any thoughts on what
that
might be?
Maybe. Could be Egwene getting captured.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. I
it seems early, but that's definitely a huge thing that happens. Or it could be a fight between any one of the groups that Perrin is coming into contact with.
Oh, that's true.
Shunshin, White Cloaks, Shinarans. We know Perrin and the Fenarans get captured or get attacked at one point. Yeah, the wolves. So it could be either one, or they can both be happening in the same episode. So I don't know. It's a lot.
I think I said this last week, but my prediction for that episode is that's when the White Cloaks are attacking the Aiel. Perrin saves the Aiel. Elias dies. That episode.
What about you, Grace? What do you think episode 4 is?
I think there's going to be a cave outside of Kyrian, and there's going to be a big battle. But the cave's going to be kind of far, so it's not really going to make sense. Yeah.
Oh, Dave Hill's the cave episode guy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Dave Hill was not happy with the decision of the campsite location. He's like, that's not how I wrote it. You're making a mockery of.
I had a detailed map in my script. You ignored it.
I'm thinking of something.
And they had to beg him to come back and gave him full control over the geography of
himself.
The Dave Cave.
The Tweeter of Chaos tweeted something at Jay Duffy with the picture of Perrin. Here it is. It says, it's almost like in that photo, Perrin is saying, "Hey, Dane, say hi to your dad for me." And I feel like, do you think that means like he's dead? Like his dad is dead?
Yeah, I think
at that point,
he's either dead or going to die.
Yeah, it seems like, hey, how's your dead son? Face off, like that's like the vibe I got from it. I was like, oh, like I feel like that's giving something away. Like
I think
I killed your dad.
I think
basically.
That was
like
just something for the readers, though. I don't think.
No, but Perrin doesn't kill Jeffrey Bornhold.
But Dane thinks he does.
Thinks he does.
Dane thinks,
right. I guess so. All right. No, but it almost looks like he like legit kills him. I don't know.
Maybe he does.
Yeah.
Jen,
killed his wife.
You had some interesting thoughts about twists and turns of Jeffrey Bornhold's death.
Yeah, I don't even
Perrin killed. You said Perrin should outright should kill him. Perrin should be the one to kill him.
Right. You said.
I mean, it's just easier.
Bane should be. He said
he does.
Dane should be justified in his hatred of Perrin. Perrin murdered his dad.
I mean, Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna have to. If he kills him, he's gonna have to do something pretty bad because he was actually nice in the first season. So I don't know.
He was,
or he kills him by
nice.
accident or something. I don't even remember what
he's
I said.
not killing
he
him.
looks like he's in like a berserker rage in this.
You're not
photo,
gonna. So Perrin, every season, Perrin accidentally kills somebody. Is that what's gonna happen?
We did talk about that already.
Yeah.
And yes, I do like that actually.
Who does he accidentally kill in season 3?
He opens a door, knocks somebody off a ladder.
He kills Maxim.
His parents.
He kills Maxim accidentally. There you go. All right, I'm gonna move on from this. We still got more news to talk about. This one's a quick one. So the new TV show tie-in book cover is out. Well, it's not out. It's available for pre-order for The Great Hunt. It's going to be available on July 18th. So just a quick description of the cover, and I was just looking at this before, and it's Moraine and Rand on the front cover, and then in the background is Tar-Valon. If you had no idea what the Wheel of Time was, and you saw this book cover, would you not think this is some sort of like samurai story? From the way Moraine's dressed
like,
and Rand and the sword? That's what this looks like to me.
I don't know.
No.
No?
No. I would think that like Rand was her warder, though.
No. If you've never heard of the Wheel of Time, this is like you're just some.
I would
showed
say,
this book cover to one of your coworkers and said, "Hey, what do you think this book's about?"
You think people would go, "Oh, this is White Samurai"?
Yeah. Yes. This is some sort of samurai, whitewashed
Why are they in front of
samurai
Tar-Valon?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, whatever. It doesn't show. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know what you're looking for, but it doesn't show too much of what happens in the books. I guess I don't know.
I like it. I'm actually annoyed that they didn't put out an Eye of the World with characters on it.
They did.
They did?
I think it's
The poster.
Oh, that's on the. Oh, what am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that other design. They also released like another new version of it though, with like a picture.
Oh, that was like an anniversary edition you're talking about?
All right, then I don't know. I don't remember. Oh, Moraine with the Waygate. They should have put the one with her holding the Trolloc head. That would have been a better cover.
Oh, they should have put another Waygate picture on this one.
Maybe it's like really small.
I don't mind the cover. It's okay. But it just hit me like before when I was looking at it. I was like, oh my God, if you didn't know what the Wheel of Time was, this kind of looks like a samurai thing.
Well.
Are you going to buy it? Anyone here going to buy this book?
I'm not. I have it already.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, but I already have it.
It's only a $23 paperback.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already have it.
Let's see. The ebook is only $10. Let's see. The hardcover is $40.
If something happened to my copy and I was going to buy another one, I would buy that one.
Oh no, yes. I think only the trade paperback version is available. The hardcover was the original one. All right, we've got one more thing to talk about, so let's get into it. So we got a What Wednesday surprise this week. That they released some more photos from the TV show. Unfortunately, they were smart this time and didn't accidentally label them with the episodes that they're from. So we don't know what episodes they're from. We got 4 shots. So let's talk a little bit about these images. We've got, I want to talk about this one first because this is probably, to me at least, the most interesting one. This is a photo of Elaine, Egwene, and Nynaeve. They're holding lanterns. And of course, I'll put the link in the show notes so you can look if you haven't seen them yet. All right. So now this looks familiar, right? This picture? Does anyone remember? Right? So there was a shot similar to this of just Kira Coveney as Elaine. And I think that it came out when they had announced her at, God, it was a long time ago. Was it Comic-Con? It was the Comic-Con that they announced Mira Sayal and Natasha O'Keefe, right?
I think so,
New York Comic-Con.
And they said who she was, but the other two they didn't.
Yeah, and I think they released this picture right after then. You remember it, if it's Kira dressed up in her novice attire, holding up the lantern. So this appears to be like, the same scene, just a different shot of it. So we've got Egwene, Nynaeve, and Kira all holding lanterns, looking at something. with concerned expressions on their faces. Jen, what was the first thing that you noticed about this picture?
Nynaeve's rainbow cuffs.
Rainbow cuffs and
Aes Sedai ring.
Her ring. She has a ring.
Stoneless ring.
Yeah, this is a stoneless ring. So what do you think about? What does everyone here think about the cuffs? Right. This is, I guess, a replacement for the colored bands on the bottom of the dress.
Yeah, I thought it was like. I mean, I don't really mind this. It's like very clear to the eye. I pictured it as like, like a small hem and the colors going like around the bottom like that.
Yeah, me too.
Like, yeah. So it's definitely different, but again, it's very like visually obvious. So for the show, I guess it's better, like for a visual medium.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I wonder if it's got to be on both hands though, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's on both cuffs. I doubt it's just on one.
Yeah. No, because originally, I don't know if you were going to talk about this later, but that you can't see Kira and Madeline's left hands in the picture.
Yeah, everyone was thinking that they were right. There's a whole big debate under whether they, but their cuffs are. Yeah, you can see their cuffs.
And I think like Nynaeve's allowed to wear her own cloak, maybe because she's accepted. Aren't they allowed to like add stuff to their clothes once they had to be accepted?
Pieces of flair, yeah.
Yeah. Right, pieces of flair.
Yeah, like they work at tchotchkes.
That like
shenanigans.
Novice dress is just like very non-forgiving, I feel like. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be flattering on me. But maybe it would be because it would probably be custom made. I don't
think that's what they're going for, but
what do you mean?
You think novice dresses are made to be flattering?
Well, they're flattering on them. I'm just saying I don't think it would be flattering. It's just like white and there's like nothing, just plain white. So
yeah.
That's all. I'm just commenting.
What are your thoughts, Grace, on this one?
So I like that it's on her wrist. It's going to be more visible. I love that if you zoom in, you can see that it's embroidery and it's little tiny flames of Tarvalon, which is really cool. But what I don't understand is why is there pink? There's no pink Aja. So I'm a little confused because it looks a little tie-dye to me. And I'm
on
like,
her wrist?
Like rainbow, cool, but tie-dye, not so much. So I don't know.
I think that's red. It's just the lighting or something. Because if you look at the yellow and the green, they look to go all the way down the cuff.
You said
they kind of
cuff
fade
is little
too.
flames of Tarvalon?
Yeah.
Yeah, little tiny embroidered flames of Tarvalon.
They look like scales, like from far away to me.
Yeah, I think they're flames. They look like little teardrops.
I haven't zoomed in on it. But.
Yeah. This one's actually kind of, you can't really zoom in too much. It's not very clear. I guess because of the lighting. So where do you think, what scene do you think this is? I guess that's the question I want to ask.
It looks like the room. Does it look like that same wall in the background, like where we think the accepted test is?
I don't think so. So, right, this is definitely after, right? We know episode 3 is the accepted test because of the picture from that they released, right? It was from episode 3, and it looked like everyone here thinks it was Nynaeve in the accepted test chambers. I think I think the chamber looked the same, and we all agreed on that. So that's episode 3. So that means this is from episode 4 or after. So we've got an idea because Nynaeve's already accepted. So yeah, what do you think this scene is? I mean, I have a thought, but I want to hear everybody else's. If they're on the same page as me.
Yeah, I think they're about to go into the ways.
So do you think this is in the White Tower?
So here's the weird thing, right? The way gate near the White Tower, we know where that is.
Do we?
Yeah, it's in the
because they go into it in season 1. It's outside of the White Tower on a hill that you can't see anyone coming as they.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Isn't it in the Ogier Grove or something?
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be. It's just a thing. So this might be them coming out of the ways and seeing something they didn't expect to see.
Yeah, they don't look happy. That's for sure.
Or maybe they
look too clean to have just come out of the ways. Right? You would think they'd look a little bit more worse for wear.
Why?
Because they went through the ways.
Yeah, but they just walked through the ways and then they came out. They didn't have like a altercation like last time.
You always got to have an altercation. But I mean, their clothes look so clean and pressed. Unless Nynaeve used a dry cleaner weave on them.
Maybe there's a secret waygate within the tower, and they don't know that, and that's where they're surprised that they look disturbed because they didn't think that's where they were going.
I think they're in the basement of the White Tower, snooping around, looking for Black Aja stuff.
What are they looking at?
I don't know. They're like in the Great Hunt, they go into like the library or like the storage area, and they look for like clues as to like where the Black Aja went. Or maybe that's the Dragon
Reborn, I think. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Same thing.
I think they're doing their Wonder Girls thing, and then they get caught or something.
They look like they're. I think they look like they're packed for a trip, though. Well, at least Nynaeve does. She's got a bag, a shoulder bag on, and it looks like Egwene does too. You just don't see the bag; you can see the strap. So to me, it looks like they've packed for a trip. So I think they're looking maybe at Leandrin. Possibly, this is Leandrin taking them out of the tower and leading them into the Shanshan trap.
Ooh, how about this? They're upset because the Andron's upset that Elaine's there. She's not packed to go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she follows them.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. She isn't packed. That's a good point, Tom.
Right? What if she sneaks after them, notices something's amiss, and Leandra's like losing her mind?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sold.
I agree that she probably follows them, but I don't know if their faces are. I feel like Egwene and Kira look like very shocked and upset at something.
Well, they think they're going to be in trouble. Maybe they're running into somebody else that they don't expect to run into. Like they think they're in trouble.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're going to meet Leandrin and Varen stops them or something.
Oh, I like that. Or Shiriam.
And then she's like, "Here, take this," and she gives them the dream terangrial.
Yeah, there you go. I'm booking it. That's what I think it is. One thing I wanted to point out here too. So the costume designer, Sharon Gillam, actually was talking about this picture on Instagram. And just to confirm, right, because we were debating this about Egwene's accepted test and whether she's going to go through her accepted test in the season. I mean, if this picture doesn't tell you that she's probably not, this might. So Sharon Gillam said on Instagram, Nynaeve is in an accepted dress with the cuffs indicating the 7 colors of the Ajas and wearing the empty serpent ring and a long gray cloak. Egwene and Elaine are novices, so they have more simple novice dresses and simpler capes. So there you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. They're novices, at this time at least, in the picture. Now, does this change anybody's thoughts, or does anybody think that we are going to get Egwene's accepted test in this season?
No.
I thought we were, but I don't see now. I don't see how now. So does that mean we're going back in season 3 for the accepted test?
I don't think so.
She just doesn't become accepted?
Oh.
Yeah.
They impersonate Aes Sedai without Aes Sedai rings.
Well, she already stole a bunch.
She gave them back, though.
She recovered a bunch.
She gave them back.
Oh,
yeah.
true. She did.
She gave them back, though.
She could just recover some more.
But they're not. There's nothing to recover.
Stab another white cloak.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get one, because it's not like they just have them lying around because they melt them.
It's true. No, I know. But
I mean, I think
there's already a pre-established method to get rings, I guess, that are out there.
She could get a Fugazi ring.
Maybe she could take a ring from an Aes Sedai who might be a demonic as well.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Do they have to pretend to be Aes Sedai?
They don't have to do anything in this TV shows, but I mean that's if they cut the kin out. I mean, Egwene tricks the wise ones into that she's an Aes Sedai. They think she's an Aes Sedai. Although that's before.
Can she just say she is? And
does that make a difference? really.
Well, actually, it is. It's a big part of her story because she has all this toe towards the wise ones.
Yeah.
She could do something. She could do something else that would incur toe. It doesn't have to be lying about that specific thing. She could lie about something else.
Do the wise ones know that like she would have to have a ring with a color? Maybe they don't even know about that.
I think they would. I think they know.
Stone. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We could talk about. I think we need to have a whole episode discussion about that. Let's move on. So we've got 3 other pictures. What about, we've got Lan, a nice picture of Daniel Henney looking all serious. He's got his traveling outfit on with his sword over his back. And he looks to be standing in front of a waygate. At least that's what it looks like to me. Does anyone else here think that?
It could be any pillar to me.
But it looks exactly like the design of the waygate from season 1. Not saying it's the same one, but...
Yeah. Unless this is the jungle waygate.
I thought that too, and I went back and I looked at the video. That jungle waygate had like vines all over it. It was like covered in vines, and I didn't see any vines at all on this one. So
yeah, that doesn't look too much like a jungly, leafy tree to me. I don't know.
There's a tree, Tom. There's a tree right here.
That is a tree.
Right, if you just look in the top upper right hand corner, there's a tree there.
Is that tree scream jungle to you?
I don't know. Trees go in the jungle. I don't know what specific trees. It's not an evergreen.
It's not a Douglas fir, Tom.
No,
it could be in the goddamn jungle.
It's not a maple. It's not a maple tree.
This is not. This is.
So we're not in
real
Canada.
Time jungle. It's not.
No. But in the jungle one, if you look back at the video,
I know
there were vines. The vines were like all over it. Like there wasn't like an inch that wasn't covered in vines, and this one's clearly got no vines on it. I don't know. I was trying to think of like we've seen that waygate. There's the waygate on the beach, right? That we also saw. Okay. Am I imagining that right? There was a waygate on the beach. This can't be that one, right?
No,
this is not.
Trees don't grow on the beach.
No, well they do. Palm trees.
I mean, not.
Maybe it's not a tree. Maybe it's like a wreath or something that someone's holding up over his head.
Could be getting crowned.
This is not. It's not the one outside. This isn't the one outside the White Tower, outside Tarvalon. This isn't the one in Faldara.
It also could just be like, some framing on a column,
like a pillar. Yeah,
it's the same exact design as the waygate. It's got
is
the shelf.
It exactly the same?
Yes, it is. It's got the shelf, the upside down molding shelf looking thing, and then the stonework is exactly the same. And it's even starting to arch. If you look at the top half, you could see it starting to curve.
They don't curve though. They're like stairs.
Oh, that's right. It is.
Like,
you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're thinking of the arches. Now you're getting all confused.
Now I'm getting myself all confused. Oh wait, it doesn't curve. I was lying.
Is there going to be a scene?
I'm wrong.
Is there going to be a scene where Lan like perfectly sculpts his facial hair? Like
he
like
perfect.
Has a light trimmer to keep it.
He has a power wrought razor.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just always never has to sharpen it, and he just shaves himself. He didn't have hair like this though in the first season, did he? He was clean shaven, wasn't
facial hair? I don't even know.
No, I think he was clean shaven. And this is after.
This
is his travel right
now. Yeah, he's like he's depressed now. He didn't have time to shave. That's what he got.
Or this could be a dream, or part of the accepted test.
Could be from
the accepted test.
I think the shot of him on the horse is from the accepted test.
And him topless doing his sword forms. Maybe that's accepted test too.
No, that's not the accepted test. I don't think he would look this.
She goes back.
Furious in the accepted test.
That can't be
Isn't he
the
like
accepted test.
Happy? Mostly in the accepted test.
Oh boy.
Probably wouldn't have a sword on his back either because he's like calm with his family.
Yeah. All right. I want to move on to the next picture. We've got one of Donald Finn as Matt. This one's interesting too. I have a lot of questions. But first I want to point out he's got a really nice looking quarterstaff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's really carved. I know people were talking about seeing birds and things in it. I'm not really sure. I think I do see a bird. It looks like a beak up there towards the top and then feathers down below it there. Like it almost looks like kind of like the American eagle kind of pose.
Oh, yeah.
Any significance anyone think there? Do you think? Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Is this in a Shenderai and we're just not seeing the top half of it?
No, it's the quarterstaff.
Okay. I hope it's not. I really hope they have the red stone doorways in the series, and I don't want him to find another magical item underneath the throne.
Where do we think Matt is?
Falm. But I think he needs to really take a bath. If he's in Falm, then he really they're not letting him bathe in the White Tower.
He's still wearing the same exact outfit too.
Yeah, and I also I said this before, but I showed the picture to Dan, my husband, and he agreed that no one who isn't as much into the show as we are is going to even notice that this is a different guy.
I think people will notice there's a different actor.
I don't know. After 2 years, maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
When he shows up in the flashbacks and the last time on the Wheel of Time.
They're not going to ever show him again. He's done. He's stricken from memory.
Oh, wow. That's harsh, Jen. You're right. If he's in Falm, he's got the same clothes on. So no one gave him new clothes in Tar Valon, and he probably didn't have his lucky night in the same way that he has it in the books, where he makes a lot of money and he didn't buy him. If he did make a lot of money, he didn't buy himself any clothes. That's for sure.
Just just take some water in your hands and splash it on your face. Wipe your neck off. What's going on?
They're in the middle of something right now.
This isn't the same dirt from season 1.
So he's looking at somebody.
I will say this: what if they? Somebody else, I think Matt Hatch was concerned about the fact that he's wearing the same outfit for 2 seasons, basically. And my theory here, because I don't recall, he does not want to wear the clothes that they give him at the tower because they mark him as somebody who was in the tower, prisoner or not. So he puts back on his street clothes when he escapes. That's my working theory, just because I don't know if he's going to just be in rags the entire season.
They have to have him in this outfit so people know who he is. It's like a kid's television show. People wear the same clothes all the time.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the season, he has to be in this outfit.
It's like a cartoon.
Who he is.
And apparently the end of the season, because if this is Falm, and that looks like some sort of Shanshan he's talking to, probably.
I was going to ask that.
Shoulder thing.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Grace, who do you think he's talking to? It looks like some armor there.
Yeah, I think it's either a Shanshan or a Shanaran soldier. And I think he's about to say something funny because he has a little bit of a glint in his eye. Looks like he's about to start smiling. I feel like there's I just love the expression on his face.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to come out with something very witty. I think that's Shanshan. I think I looked back at all the armor that we've seen. Because somebody did say white cloak, and I looked back, and I don't think it's a white cloak. But it does look like some of the Shanshan armor I saw with the guards who were with Torok. It looked similar to that. So yeah, I think so. Then he's got to be in Falm, I guess.
I'm going to throw this out. This wasn't mine. This is Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern. He did a video breakdown of these images, among some other things. He says, and I loved it because it never occurred to me, that's Arthur Hawkwing. He doesn't think that shoulder guard exactly matches the shape of the Shanshan guards or anybody else's. So he thinks that might be Arthur Hawkwing.
I like that.
I just like that because that's awesome, but I didn't even think of it.
Yeah. The only problem I have with that is doesn't matter. They could still do it, but it's so bright and sunny. And that's just not how I envisioned that scene. I want it to be dark and fog and stuff, but yeah.
I definitely think we need the fog.
Yeah.
We saw them with the fog machines in the BTS footage, right? The guys out in the desert blowing the fog.
But it's not going to be. What do you think? They're testing the fog machines?
Based on what we've seen so far, that's probably for the white cloaks riding in. What we saw.
It could be for.
Plus, it's around the door. It looks like the same setup as.
It could be both. It could be happening at the same time, though. The white cloaks could be riding through the fog. Matt might have already blown the horn.
That's in the city, not out in the desert.
But they're coming into the city. We've seen footage of them riding into Falm. So that's just them like riding into Falm from the outside, before they get there. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a cinematography thing.
Okay.
Final picture we have here is of Perrin. It's Marcus looking badass. He's got a very angry look on his face, and he's got his golden eyes holding a shield, looking bloodied up. He looks like I'm going to eat your lunch, kind of. That's what it says to me. Thoughts on this one? What do we think this is? What's the scene? Where's Perrin? What's he about to do? Or what has he done?
I think this is in Falm. Close to the end of the season, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fighting White Cloaks.
Always with the White Cloaks. Jen, is he about to kill Jeffrey Bornholz?
I think he killed him already.
Oh.
I think he just killed him, and now he's turning around and he locked eyes with Dane.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said that before, right?
Dead body. That's what I think. Our hero. Massacres everyone.
Our hero, Murderer McGee. We have seen another photo of Perrin in Falm while fighting. Looks like it's about to happen because Avienda's about to throw down.
Yeah.
And he has no blood on his face and
no
his
shield.
Regular eyes. And no shield. So somewhere in between him looking very nervous in that photo and this, there's a big change. Another thing that I heard that I thought might be interesting is that you see Rand move up to the Shanshan, right? Presumably to challenge Turok. As the White Cloaks come in, everyone turns around. You see Matt also face to face with someone who looks like he's a Shanshan High Guard. That perhaps the three boys together do some sort of Avengers versus Thanos battle, where it's the three of them are fighting a Blade Master. I don't know if that makes any actual sense, but that's cool to me. I like that.
Sure.
What if somebody just like punched Perrin in the face with like an armored hand, and now he's like turning on the guy? Like you made a big mistake.
Yeah, like a Hulk Hogan type.
like he just like his eyes just became golden, and he's like
hulking up right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he's hulking up because he's defending someone. I think somebody got hurt, either Uno or Loyal or Egwene, and he is ready to like get revenge because he wants to protect someone he cares about. That's what I think.
Yeah,
fine. Know about Perrin's actual personality.
This could be like a way of the leaf type thing, like where he's like there and he's trying not to fight, and then he just gets beat up a bit and he's taking punches, and then like exactly like you said, Grace, like someone messes with one of his friends and he's like I'm not having it.
Yeah,
maybe
he's like not Way of the Leaf in this moment for sure.
No.
We haven't heard anything about the wolf filming for season 2. At least I don't remember anyone putting that out there. Do you think there's a possibility that the wolves are at Falm and this is where one of the Hopper dies, possibly, or if there is a wolf Hopper? Maybe this is Hopper being dying, or Tom, as you thought, Elias turning into Hopper.
I mean, I think there's a possibility the wolves are at Falm. I don't think this is. I'm all in on the Elias is Hopper thing. I've been on that from day one where that guy was cast. So yeah, I don't think, and I think that he's going to die halfway through the season, and you're going to see him in the wolf treatment this season. So no, I don't think it's going to happen now. I think Grace is right that this is more likely someone that Perrin and you, the audience, really care about, that is in danger because Perrin was trying not to fight, and Perrin's like, this is not right for me. It's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to get some.
All right. I promised I'd try to keep the episode moving along so we can get to the main topic, but we're going to get to it right now. So hold on. We're getting there right now. We're going to talk a little bit about Bain and Chiad. We got their casting a few weeks back at Jordan Con. We got Maya Simonson and Raga Ragnars. Reverse that. Bain is Raga Ragnars.
Yeah.
Chiad is Maya Simonson. We got a nice look at them in total garb in the video that they released. So I will remind everyone to go check that out. I just want to get a little bit of background in on the actual characters. I'm going to ask this of you, Jen, because I didn't ask it before, though. Did you pull their first appearance?
All right.
Jen, read us into the first appearance.
All right. So I'm just going to read. This is chapter 38 of The Dragon Reborn, Maidens of the Spear. So I'm going to read I'm going to jump around a little bit. Just read 3 different parts that I thought were good. Okay. This is when the Aiel are meeting up with Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine. 2 women in Aiel garb stood up no more than 10 paces away, one out of a little fold in the ground that Egwene would not have supposed could hide a dog, and the other in grass that reached only halfway to her knees. They lowered their black veils as they stood. That gave her another jolt. She was sure Elaine had told her the Aiel only hid their faces when they might have to do killing, and settled the cloth that had wrapped their heads about their shoulders. One had the same reddish hair as Avienda, with gray eyes, the other dark blue eyes and hair like fire. Neither was any older than Egwene or Elaine, and both looked ready to use the short spears in their hands. So then I'm skipping ahead a little. The flame-haired Aiel closest to her only said, "I am Bain, of the Black Rock Sept of the Chiad Aiel. I am Chiad," the shorter, blonder woman on her other side said, "of the Stones River Sept of the Goshen Aiel." And then I just want to read one more part. The maidens do not dance the spears with one another, even when our clans do, but the Chiad Aiel and the Goshen Aiel have held blood feud between them over 400 years, so Chiad and I felt our wedding pledge was not enough. We went to speak the words before the wise ones of our clans, she risking her life in my hold and I in hers, to bond us as first sisters. As is proper for first sisters who are maidens, we guard each other's backs, and neither will let a man come to her without the other. I would not say we do not care for men. Chiad nodded with just the hint of a smile. So that's Bain and Chiad.
I like that. I didn't remember that part with the hint of a smile. I wonder, does she already have her eye on somebody at that point, do you think? Is that why she was smiling? Do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember. Sure. So did they just meet Gaul? Let's get right into it. Did they know Gaul before they came over the Dragon Wall? I guess that's when they first met, maybe?
I'm not sure.
I'm wondering if there was already interest there or not.
I didn't realize how young they were.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. The other thing that's funny too, because they say the shorter one. So Chiad's the shorter one, but she's 5'7.5", which isn't short at all, and Bain's 5'8.5". So they're not even that much of a difference.
6'2", whatever Raga Ragnar
versus a 5'9", or 5'8", or whatever. Yeah, I didn't also remember that their clans had blood feuds together.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
So that's really remarkable that they became first sisters when their clans are in a blood feud.
It's like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah,
it is like Romeo and Juliet. They had to do the ceremony 2 times, though?
No, is that what this
in
is?
each hold? I don't, because it says she came to my hold and I went, or is that just to ask them if they could do it?
I think that's to prove that's so that one doesn't sacrifice and the other one doesn't. That's how I read it. I'm going to risk my life to do it at your hold. You're going to risk your life to do it at my hold. We're equal,
So okay. I did have some notes here. I did want to talk about first sisters and what that means, because I'm going to assume we're going to get that in the show. And this is probably going to be one of those, expositions into the Aiel culture. So I did pull up some information about being first sisters. So it is a bond, like they said, that links 2 women together. But what they didn't mention in there, that they actually use the one power. So it's a thing of the power, similar to the water bond, but not the same. And it's an intricate ceremony that goes on to do this, which is interesting because it sounds like there's just one ceremony. So for them to go do it at 2 places, I'm not sure how that works, because the ceremony involves the use of the one power. They have to answer questions about each other, and then they actually physically strike each other in the ceremony, which is interesting. So I have the questions here. So the first one is, what is the best you know of the other woman? Then they answer, but the other is then told how little value this truly has, which I guess is something of the one power. And then they are asked what they find worst in each other, and then they are told how they themselves share something of that trait. Then they are asked of the most childish thing in the other woman. And then finally, they are asked, what is the greatest jealousy of the other woman? And this whole ceremony is presided over by wise ones. I believe, if I remember correctly, like the participants don't even know when and where this is going to happen. Like it's kind of sprung on them, I think. I think the wise ones just kind of say it's time, kind of thing. And
is this like the Newlywed Game where like their answers have to match?
I don't
like. What did she say is my worst trait, and then you like.
I feel like if you just get through it and are still willing to go through it, that's all it is, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's my impression. Is like, okay, if you just heard all that stuff and you still want to become first sisters, then you've made it.
Right. I think it's also like you have to know the other person. This can't be a whim.
Yeah.
Right. You have to love them warts and all, and be aware of what those warts all are. You know.
Yeah. And they say often the ceremony is not completed. Like there's a lot of people who start to go through the ceremony and then give up on it. They hear what the other person says about them and they leave. This ceremony can actually be done with men as well. I guess it's first brothers, but it's not as common. And actually it's more frequently that the men ceremonies do not complete than the women's ceremonies. I guess the men are more petty than the women. And of course, like any other ceremony in the Wheel of Time, the participants must be naked.
Come on.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Well, if there's a men's ceremony, I'm sure the men would be naked too.
That's fine. I mean, not that that's fine. I mean, no one should have to be naked.
Is it right when they do the bonding ceremony? You see the first sister ceremony in the books, right? Don't they have a feel of like being reborn, like an experience, like almost like you could re-see yourself in the womb with your first sister there with you. So there is like this kind of like that's the vibe that I think that's why you're naked.
Robert Jordan's like, how do I explain why they need to be naked in this scene? Let me come up with a reason why.
So here it is. They remove every scrap of clothing and jewelry as to be sisters must arrive as a child came in birth.
Okay.
She must also come ignorant of what is to happen and unknowing of the time of her birth. That's what I was saying about the wise ones kind of springing on them, just as the child is ignorant and cannot choose the time. So
maybe they went to each hole to ask, and then like they sprung it on them at some point, whenever it was.
Yeah. So how do you picture this, Grace? Do you think it's something where they announce that they want to do it, and then like at some point the wise ones say, okay, now you're ready? Or do you think like they're committed, right, to doing this? Like they're the ones who initiate it, right? You don't think the wise ones just say, oh, we think they'd make good first sisters, let's just put them in the ceremony?
No, I think they have to ask for it. And then I think it's at that point, it's out of their hands, and the wise ones decide when it happens after that.
So maybe that's what the going to each other's holds was. Like one came to the other's hold to ask and announce it, and then the other one came to the other hold to announce it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like this needs to be added to one of the conventions. We should do first sister ceremonies without the nudity.
Like a body sock, like a nude body sock.
So one of the, unlike, I don't know about water bonding. I don't think this is in there, but unlike like an accepted test or something like this, not that this is like anything near that, but if any of the participants seem hesitant, or the wise ones think they might be lying, or not giving it their all, the ceremony will be ended. And of course, if somebody just wants to leave and says, I don't want to do this anymore, you can just leave of your own free will. So there's no pressure into it, but
like a wedding.
Yeah, just like a wedding.
Just run right off the altar.
Although they said often the ceremony is never completed.
Well,
I think it's more frequent than marriage.
I guess.
Do you think we'll see a first sisters bonding ceremony in the show?
Yes.
I want to say yes. Yeah.
Who?
I mean,
Yeah, I think you might get the one that's in the books later on when right when
Elaine
Bain and Avienda. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Bain and Chiad backstory and have like, that, but I don't think they'll do that. So it's probably going to be Elaine and Avienda.
But do you think they'll make it more of like a wedding kind of a thing? If they're if they make Elaine and Avienda more obviously interested in each other. I don't know if that's
I don't know.
show.
I mean, Rafe did sort of allude to that when he talked about polyamory. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've always felt like the Aiel have a different definition of siblings, or maybe like a more expansive definition of siblings, because someone can be your spear sister, your spear brother, spear sibling, whatever. And that doesn't mean you're related to them. So I think the first sister thing to me, it doesn't mean necessarily that they're related and can't also be in love and be married. I think they use it in a more general sense. So I don't know if that would translate on the show, if they need to be more clear, like, that Elaine and Avienda are getting married, not becoming first sisters. I don't know how they'll do it, but
yeah, because I guess like if you're actually sisters, you also call each other first sisters, right?
Right.
Yeah. Literally sisters.
Yeah. So that could be confusing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've already had one marriage on the show already in season 1.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do that, because right then you've got a lot going on with Elaine. Then, right? She bonds Brigida. She does a first sister bonding ceremony with Avienda, and then they all bond Rand. They do that bonding ceremony with Rand. She's going to be a busy woman.
Yeah, and run a kingdom or two, but that's
yeah, or two is the.
So yeah. I was going to ask this later on, but I think this is the right time to ask it because it kind of came up. Do you think that it's just Bain and Chiad in the show? Like they're the couple and there is no Gaul?
I think there is going to be Gaul. My current theory is that he won't be in season 2, that in season 2, you'll be introduced to the Aiel. You'll learn about their culture. You'll learn what first sisters are. You'll establish their relationship and their history. And then in season 3, Gaul will come in and add conflict. That's my current prediction. I'd be pretty surprised if they didn't include Gaul.
I would be too. I figured since they announced Bain and Chiad that they have to be announcing Gaul. I feel like these characters are great exposition points about the Aiel culture throughout the books. So I think it would be helpful just to have that person there, even if they don't do that much and they're just there and they only have, a few lines or not as much of a part as they do in the books. And I'm fine with him coming in season 3. I don't think we need to see him now. Although to me, it makes sense to introduce him at the same time. Just introduce all 4 of them, like Avienda, even Ruach. Just introduce them all at the same time. There could be some other Aiel there. There could already be some, tension between Gaul and Bain and Chiad. I wouldn't be opposed to that already. So. And then it would also, so we think, or at least in that script, it seems like Perrin saved Avienda's life. Maybe he also saves Gaul's life. And that's what happens in the books, right? He saves Gaul's life and he's basically in debt to him. So that's why, I should say he has tow towards him. So then he just goes and travels with Perrin. It's there. It's already in there. Are they going to have Perrin save 2 Aiel people's lives in 2 separate books? Like right back, seasons back to back? Or does Gaul just travel with him because he thinks he's got a really cool beard?
That transition between for Perrin is going to be the hardest, I feel like, between season 2 and 3, because you don't have Fael, Bain and Chiad go with him because of Fael. Gaul goes with him because of what he does for Gaul. And so I don't know how to get if all those people are going to be going to the two rivers, since they're not even in and I don't think we know pretty much the Fael's not in season 2. So.
I know, like the more and more I'm thinking about it, I feel like Fael has to be in season 2. Like I'm starting to think that she's in season 2 and we just don't know about it. Like we might meet her like towards the end. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but it just seems like things point to it.
Like, I don't know how to establish that whole relationship enough for her to go to the two rivers with him. We said too, he might meet her there, right?
Yeah.
Like Bain and Chiad need a reason to go there. I know. I'm sorry.
I'm just off topic.
I'm just thinking of like, I was starting off with Bain and Chiad thinking like, what are they going to do? Why would they go to the two rivers if there's no Fael in season?
I think.
Sure, go ahead. Chris.
Well, he rescues Avienda. I don't think there's all Roark and Gaul are all there. That's too many people to introduce all at once. Like from a writing standpoint, I think it would be too complicated and it just wouldn't work. So I think it's just going to be the maidens. And I think you're going to learn about the maidens and learn about the Aiel through them. He's saved Avienda. And so he's going to form a bond with her and her spear sisters. And they're, so at that point, Perrin will have his own relationship with Bain and Chiad, and that will be the reason that they go with him. Right. And then maybe Gaul just, I don't know, happens to join them or, and then Fael could be met on the way as well. And then, season 3 could be them sort of meeting and having conflict. And then the climax and sort of them falling in love would be when she brings the other Two Rivers people to save him in the battle.
You just convinced me that Gaul might not be in it now because maybe they just replace Gaul with Bain and Chiad.
No, I think it would be fun to have him there too. No.
So I'm rereading Shadow Rising now, and I forgot, like in the beginning of that when Perrin's going back, Rand asks a decent number of Aiel to go with him, and only 3 say yes, right? And Gaul only says yes because of Perrin, and Bain and Chiad say yes because they think that Perrin and Fael are funny, and they're friends with Fael, and they think that's cool. So they go, and also you find out later on that like one of them may have some sort of interest in Gaul, but like, you could do the same thing and just have Rand go, look, I'm not going. I'm glad you're going. I'll see if anyone will go with you. And one other guy says yes.
That's true.
They're like, oh, these 2 girls are gonna go too.
Right.
Oh, I'll go.
Yeah.
I was like, they're going.
No, that makes him seem like he's Stifler or something.
Wait. Both of them are going?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go.
Well, they're first sisters, so.
Yeah, I think you have a way that you can bring him in the 3rd season and still make it like not shoehorned in or not like, oh, I'm walking back to the Two Rivers and I found one Aiel who was looking for Rand is captured. I'll free him now. Like,
they could. All right. So here's a thought, and again, we're getting off Bain and Chiad, but this involves them, right? Because we had talked maybe that Perrin on his way back to the Two Rivers, he rescues Fael or something, right? And that's how they meet or something like that. Or she could just be in the Two Rivers.
She's a hunter for the horn.
Yeah, she could be hunting for the horn and just be in the Two Rivers. But you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and have Gaul and Fael captured together, not because they were together, just they got captured at separate times and are being held prisoner at the same place. And Perrin and Bain and Chiad rescue them.
No,
I feel like it's too many rescues. Yeah, if you're gonna have Perrin rescue Avienda, that's it. You can't
kill somebody and rescue someone in
every season.
Accidentally kill someone and rescue someone in every season.
Okay. All right. I like it then. So Rand just tells some Aiel to go and Gaul volunteers, partially because he has a thing for Chiad. And Perrin, and then they just meet Fael. That's Two Rivers. I buy
Maybe other Aiel go too. Just like whatever.
Yeah.
Like random people that we don't really know.
Yeah.
I do like, and this is another thing, like you've got three Two Rivers people in the Threefold Land. Whole book of before, and you have 3 Aiel in the Two Rivers. And that's a nice mirroring that I didn't pick up until this reading of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have more people from the Westlands there because you have Moraine Land too, but you have 3 Two Rivers folk in the Aiel Waste and 3 Aiel in the Two Rivers in that book, and I think that's cool.
Nice symmetry,
dynamic.
Nice balance.
Wow. Yeah.
It's 2 women and a 2 female Aiel and 1 male Aiel, and then 2 rivers and 1 female 2 rivers. I like that.
Think about it, man.
So, I mean, I was going to talk a little bit about how they're introduced in the books, but I don't think we're getting this at all in the show, right? They're among the group of Aiel that was sent to go over the Dragon Wall to find he who comes with the dawn, the Karakarn, aka Rand. They're sent by the Wise Ones. They first appeared, as Jen mentioned. I think Elaine, Egwene, and Nynaeve are headed to Tyr to go do some Black Aja hunting, and their boat runs aground, and they don't want to wait for another boat to come down to transfer to, so they decide to start walking, and they get captured by... Oh, no, before they get captured by bandits, they run into these Aiel. One of them is injured. Dalen is injured. Nynaeve helps her. They're very grateful. They go on their way. That's our first meeting of Bain and Chiad. Then the 3 girls get captured, and then Bain and Chiad and the other Aiel are the ones that rescue them. And then they show up again. They're at the stone when the stone's taken as well.
I do really like that scene with the Murdral.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they can somehow do something like that with like Perrin or something, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, when they're captured?
Seems like a lot going on, but yeah.
Yeah, so
I feel like they're like getting ready to bust out of the closet or wherever they are, and then they just like the Aiel just come in. I think Egwene or Nynaeve like bust the door open, and they're like,
Nynaeve does.
We got it.
So,
no, actually, does someone use balefire in that
we
scene?
think Nynaeve uses balefire.
Nynaeve does. Yeah.
Wow, that's right. I forgot about that.
Is that the first appearance of balefire? I think, right? Because we don't see it again until Moiraine uses it. At the end of the book?
Rand
balefire
possibly
someone?
uses it.
Oh,
does he balefire dogs?
He balefires Darkhounds, I think, in the same book. I don't remember which happens first, though.
We don't even really know if they're Darkhounds. They could just be like regular dogs because he's out of his mind, right?
I think they're Darkhounds.
They're Darkhounds.
Well, they also mention that like balefire is the only thing that kills them, right?
Oh, okay.
Or one of the only things that kills the Darkhounds. So I want to get everyone's thoughts. I'll start with you, Grace. What do you think? Right, it doesn't seem like we're getting this in the TV show at all, and I mean, unless you do think we are. But what do you see Bain and Chiad's roles in season 2 and maybe going into season 3 in the TV show?
Yeah, I think just what I was saying before about how they're going to help us learn about Aiel culture. They're there with Aviendha, so it's not. They'll have someone to interact with, so they can, teach us about that and then learn about what First Sisters are. I think they're not going to have a huge role, but I think they're there to just help set up the story and set up the culture. And then, I mean, same in season 3. I really don't think they're going to have like a huge role in the plot. I think they're just there to add color and texture and build the world.
Mm-hmm. You think we're going to get them like, I mean, I imagine, right, they're going to be in the whole series from here on out, or do you think they could possibly cut them out at some point, or?
I don't want them to. I mean, yeah, of course they could. They could. Yeah. I mean, I want them to be there till the end. And I do think they have a cute storyline with Gaul. And I would love to see that, but is it necessary? No.
Yeah. I feel like you might as well keep them in, right? You brought them in, like you said, they're going to be in the background.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're present in a lot more of the story than I think that like you remember at first. Like they're a consistent supporting cast in the Perrin and Fael plotline, the whole series. Like, Perrin's still interacting with them like towards the end, right before he goes like right before he goes to try and save Rand and like fight Slayer the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He's still talking to them like in the tents. So
Chiad is Guy Shane, I think, right, at this point.
Yeah, they both are from when they're captured by the Shaido. But yeah, so I think they're exactly the right level of fame that they can easily be on this show for the entire run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have a potential. Those are the kind of characters that have potential if they hit with audiences that you could just make them a bigger part of the show. without having to make stuff up. You just focus more on the stuff they do.
Yeah, I like that. I think
they could be the Braun, like of just like, oh, he's awesome. We'll just keep having him, feed him lines, make it cool.
Yeah, I do hope Gaul's in it just so they can play up all of that wild tension between the three of them, plus like even with Fael and Perrin in there, right? Because they're also kind of laughing at Fael and Perrin and the way their relationship is as well. So I think it would be good if they're going to put the two of them in there. I think they should put Gaul in there. I think they should keep them in the background. And you're right. I think they feel it out, right? They see how people react to them, and they could always, give them more lines in future seasons or pull back as needed. Do you? I guess I want to ask this. It's more of a general question about characters like this, right? There's a lot of these types of characters in the story. Do you think that they'll put these characters in, one by one by one, they'll put them in, and then depending on how the audience reacts, they might change the way they interact in future seasons? Like people really like Bain and Chiad, so they're going to write more for them and maybe put other characters that people didn't react as positive towards, or and say, you know what, let's tone this character down and bring these characters more up front. Or do you think Rafe's like, no, I have it in my head how I want it to be, and I'm going to stick to it?
I'm sure that that's something that Amazon would talk to him about. It's probably like a note, like, oh, we noticed X and Y are really popular, so do more with them. I don't know if that's something that he, would want to do necessarily, but I'm sure that that's like a conversation that is had.
It's one of the 10,000 notes he gets. You're right.
Yeah,
That's going to be studio, right? The studio pushing them for that. Like, hey, the audience responded well to this person. You need to write them. You need to give them 10 more lines this season, or
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like, make them two of Rand's wives. Like, it's not going to be a radical change to the story.
Make them the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, but I think you can, like, those characters are easy characters to, I think, slide up and down the, I don't know, screen time scale, right? I think they definitely will do that across the board. But I don't think they're going to change. I don't think they're going to change storylines. I don't think, for example, I'm trying to think of somebody who dies in the middle of the books or whatever. Like, we really like him. Just keep that person around.
Val
whatever.
Luca.
They're not going to do stuff
Herod
like
Fell.
that.
Keep Val and Luca in every scene.
Yeah. Like, Herod Fell is going to be so awesome in his 3 scenes. They're like, he's at the end. Keep him in. The audience demands more. Like, nah, he's got to die, because if he's around, then he'll just explain it to Rand, and then there's no mystery. Right?
Maybe he gets his tongue cut out instead, and his hands cut off.
God.
People like to see fighting. Fighting is cool. People in chat are talking about the blood snow scene. I mean, I think having the maidens there throughout, just to be part of fight scenes, people will want to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, Rand's going to have his honor guard too, right? Of the maidens, I'm sure.
Right.
So, I don't know how many of those maidens we're going to get, like named ones.
Sulin, you think we're going to get?
Sulin and Anila and Nandera. I'm trying to remember. Dorinda. There we go.
Lamel. How many can I name? Melindra.
More than I.
Melindra's not.
Melindra's going to be in next
Melindra
season.
has to be in it.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the scene.
See, that's a scene that
where
would
Matt
be
has
good
to
if she's
enter.
fighting. If they're fighting naked,
Yes.
that's like a good naked thing. I think.
Yes. Oh,
like
yeah,
just
that's a great
busting
scene.
out of the bedroom, naked fighting. Like, that's amazing.
There's a lot of those scenes in these books where the maidens just or even the male fighters just jump out naked and start fighting naked, flopping all over the place. Whatever.
Well,
that's odd.
I wasn't
Thanks,
talking
Joe.
about the flopping, but you brought it up to the forefront.
There were a few things when I first read the book that I pictured visually as if it were a movie or a TV show, but the end of that scene is definitely one of them. Like, it's such a potent visual of him like trying to pull it back, but it's too late. I don't know why I'm not spoiling that.
What scene are you talking about?
Not killing
The end of
Melinda?
that fight scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Whatever. But so can I ask a question?
You
Since
already
we're talking
ruined
about
that
Ben
Herod
Chiad,
Fell dies.
we have
Spoiled
Ben
that for
Chiad on the
everybody.
show. Grace, why is that your handle? Why did you pick Ben and Chiad as your handle?
Well, I wanted something that no one else had. So when I was joining Twitter, I like looked up a few things, probably Fail, Egwene, things like that. And I've always loved the Maidens of the Spear. They're up there, top 5 favorite things about the books. And as I was thinking about, okay, which Maiden of the Spear should I be? It just occurred to me it would be really funny to be both Bain and Chiad. So that's why I decided to be them. But also, I feel like it fits me as well. I mean, I've always felt that the first sister relationship could also be seen as a romantic relationship. And the fact that Chiad loves Bain and Gaul, that just feels right for me because I'm bi, and it just felt like I want to be them. So this is me. I don't know.
That's cool. No, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't too. I was just like, oh, I always wanted to know, and this is perfect. Bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not. Happy to share.
So we know who our Bain and Chiad are, right? Maya Simonson and Raga Ragnar's. I think we talked about our thoughts when we first saw the video and what we thought about that. I would ask you then, Grace, were you excited that these two wonderful actors are going to be playing Bain and Chiad? And I know you were just excited to get Bain and Chiad. But what are your thoughts on the casting? How do you feel about the actors and also the costuming too?
Yeah, well, I don't know too much about the actors, but what I saw in the Q&A at JordanCon of their personalities was lovely, and they seem to have really good rapport with each other and with Ayula Smart. And they're tall and gorgeous and strong, and I can't wait to see them fighting. And I love the way they look. I love the costumes. I love the makeup. I love the weapons. I love Bane's like dry humor. So I'm really excited. I don't know much about them, but what I've seen so far, I really love.
Yeah, I really impressed with the costuming in particular. Like you said, I don't really know the actors. I know Raga was on Vikings, but I didn't get that far into the show, so I haven't really seen her.
I did watch a scene of her fighting in Vikings, and she looks great. So,
Oh yes, I'm very excited this season for all of the action that we're going to get, especially with we didn't really get much hand-to-hand combat in season 1. Like we got some in Winter Night. There was, I don't know, I guess there was a little bit in episode 4, if you want to call it that. And then that was really it. We didn't really get much hand-to-hand combat, so I'm very much looking forward to that this season with the White Cloaks, the Shan Chen, and the Aiel all getting together. I'm very excited for that. And I'm very happy that Bain and Chiad are in the show because I think they're going to be really fun characters. I like that they're going to do the hand talk, which is interesting. So do you think we're going to get like subtitles when they do hand talk, or you're just not going to know what they're saying unless somebody makes a comment about it?
I don't know. Maybe if they're alone in the scene, we'll get a subtitle, but if other people are there, we won't. Like the same thing with the channeling. They show channeling or don't show channeling. I don't know.
And they never tell you what it's saying in the books, right?
Yeah, but if it's like Avienda, Bain, and Chiad in a scene, like they know what it says. It'd be weird if they were talking to each other.
But they only really use maiden hand talk.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't use it if
talk in secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Would you?
I don't think so. I think there's just gonna be context clues or like body language, and you'll just have to figure it out. I don't think they'll do subtitles.
I would like to do subtitles. I kind of would like to see subtitles. I don't know. I feel like it would be fun. I think it would be humorous to see some subtitles for that. But, I'll be fine. I think I'd be fine either way. So I'm cool with that. Oh, wow, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I think this is a good time to wrap it up then, does anyone have any last thoughts about Bain and Chiad? Were there things that anybody wants to talk about that we didn't get to?
I did a little bit of digging into the names and tried to see if I could find anything as to why those are the names, right? And I found this. I thought this was interesting. Like I kind of just looked up I looked up the words and see if they had any, alternative meanings or things of that nature. And I think it's possible, but if it is possible, these would both be picked because of their relationship to Gaul, which I don't, necessarily love. But Chiad is an alternative spelling of a Gaelic word that means first.
Okay.
So again, if you're going to say well, she's the one who first likes Gaul or first gets along with him, I think that could make sense. Bain is also an Old English word from Norse, which means favorable, advantageous, convenient, friendly, fair, and keen, which is kind of the opposite of how she treats them all. And I think that is in line with a lot of the way that Jordan made naming conventions kind of reversed from what their characters are. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was interesting. Obviously, I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but again, I've been trying to, dig in myself and see if I can find stuff. And I thought those things were interesting enough to bring up.
Yeah. Ooh, I like the Bain one. I just kind of took it as the traditional meaning of the word Bain spelled.
She's the bane of his existence.
Yeah.
She's the bane of, she's the one who, is trying to cock block Gaul.
All right. So this is another thing that came up when I was reading this. And this is another thing that never occurred to me when I was thinking about this relationship as I was reading the books. If Chiad cannot give up the spear alone, basically, because they're first sisters. Yeah. It's a package deal.
Yes.
And she's not only sacrificing it, she's asking Bain to sacrifice as well. And you get that from Gaul's point of view. Gaul's I don't even I have to marry both of them. I'm going to marry one of them.
Yes.
But he doesn't even think about maybe that's why she's reluctant to lay a wreath at my feet, because she's asking her first sister to make this huge sacrifice as well. I thought that was a kind of, I don't know. I thought that was a good beat, and I was glad that someone pointed it out to me while I was researching for this episode.
Well, I think I might be taking this the wrong way, but I always just took it as she was jealous because Chiad likes Gaul, and she's jealous of that. And that's why she gives Gaul such a hard time. And she feels probably a little bit threatened by him, maybe.
Nah.
No, you don't think so?
Disagree.
You think it's more of the fact that she doesn't want to give up the spear?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Aiel are pretty cool about stuff like that. They with the sharing, and I don't feel like Bain seems jealous. I think I like Tom's explanation. It's more about the honor. That's what it's really about.
All right. I guess I was wrong. Well,
there's no right or wrong.
No, there is, but we don't know the answer. Only
right.
the one person who does is dead. Or there might be some other people who do know the answer to that. But I guess I took it more at face value, but you're right. It sounds, it could be a mixture of both as well, right? Maybe because I feel like just because you're Aiel and your customs are different, although in Jordan's world, it is that, right? Your customs are different, so you're okay with things that might be taboo in other cultures. But to me, I always think it doesn't matter what culture you're in. There's still those innate human emotions that can't be suppressed via some sort of cultural upbringing. And jealousy, I think, is one of those. So I think there might be a little bit of jealousy that she's giving some of her attention to Gaul. And that, which obviously takes some attention away. But you're right. I think she probably gets to that point. I'm an Aiel, and this is we know this going into it, and she comes to terms with that. But I do like the idea. I do like your idea that it's more about or a lot about her not wanting to give up the spear. And why do they have to give up the spear when they marry? I don't get it. Because they're not wed to the spear anymore. They can't be wed to more than one thing. Like the men don't give up the spear, right, when they marry.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Double standard.
It's just but that's the maidens thing, right? That's
but I
their
think
own
it's
thing.
that like when they get
I don't think
married and become a
maidens of the
mother,
spear,
then
they're
they
not
have to
matrons of the
like
spear.
they have to like focus on their family life. I
But
guess.
what I'm saying,
and
it's not like I don't think the male half of society said that if you can't become a maiden, you can't be a maiden anymore. That was something the maidens decided, right?
In my head canon, in the fourth age, they do away with this, and you are allowed to get married and keep the spear. That's my head canon.
I imagine until you
things change.
I imagine when you have children, then maybe you have to give up the spear.
No.
Why?
Hell no.
The men don't.
It's actually not like.
Well, the men don't
explicitly
actually
said
give
like
birth.
there's
no
no problem with them having lovers and having kids. Like it's literally like
but they give
either
up
you're
the
married
babies
to the spear or you're married.
No,
like
if maidens have kids though, they give them up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah, you can't be a mother and be a maiden.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
it. You're right. Yeah, but like you could have children. That won't stop you from being a maiden in the spear. You just can't raise them.
Oh yeah, you have to give up your child. But I imagine if you got married, you probably wouldn't want to give up your child. I don't know. Maybe actually there probably are people who do. So
I'm sure there are.
I'm sure there are people who do that.
Sometimes when my kids are very, very annoying.
No.
And I always felt that was something self-imposed by the maidens. They did it. They like on that was like part of their code, like their specific code, not like a general Aiel code.
Right. So you can't be mad about it because they came up with the idea themselves.
Well, I'm sure those people didn't. They're the people who created the maidens.
No, but I mean,
yeah.
Women can't be mad because they did it. They decided that they weren't going to give.
Well, they can't be mad at men, is what I'm saying for that.
They can be mad at whoever they have. Well, please.
That's all I was saying.
I'm mad at men for everything.
No, I just wanted to make sure also I understood it correctly because that's how I understood it. It was like a maidens thing, not like an Aiel thing. It was like one of their specific rules. Because I wouldn't see any reason for them to not continue being maidens when they're married.
I could see like when you're pregnant.
Well, yeah.
But then like once you have the baby, they should be able to go back to work. You'd be on desk duty while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Then you can go back into the field.
Carry water or cook or something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making this up. I said we were going to wrap it up about 15, 20 minutes ago. So now we're really going to wrap it up here.
Wait. Well, we have final thoughts.
Wait, before. Okay.
And we need to hear the rest of Tom's story.
No, that's what I'm.
All right. Let me do the wrap up and then Tom, you can tell your story. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. We also post our episodes on YouTube, so go check out our YouTube page and subscribe and like our videos. Rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. Links to all the aforementioned information are included in the show notes to this episode. You've waited all this time. Tom is going to finish his story. Go on, Tom. You have the floor.
I don't know where I crapped out. But
you crapped out. You were talking about the man with the fishing pole.
Man with the pole.
Okay, so he's gesturing me to like come over and look over like the balustrade of this boardwalk onto the beach. And I'm like, this guy's going to try and like push me off the boardwalk onto the beach or like try and murder me or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then I realized he's old and a lot smaller than me. And if that's the case, I'm not too worried. So I get a little closer to him and I realize he doesn't speak English. And again, he's trying to gesture for me to walk over to the edge of this boardwalk and look out into the beach. There's something on the beach he wants me to see. And there's a problem because he doesn't speak English and I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to follow him or not. And then he says one word in English. Body. And I look out onto the beach and there's a dead body. It's rolled up into the surf.
Was it Laura Palmer?
No. So he explains that he doesn't speak English and he doesn't have a phone and he can't call the cops. And he's trying to get somebody to do that. Like now, my phone is in my car 3/4 of a mile away. And that was the day that I found out that I do not need to walk anymore on my job because I ran I ran back 3/4 of a mile to get to the phone to call the cops because
You gotta keep the phone on you. So, like, if something happens to you, or if you see a dead body in
I
the
told the story to my
water.
wife. She's like, "How are you out for a run and you don't bring your phone on you? You're a fool." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like it would fall in my pocket and I didn't have a thing or whatever." So, as I get to like the very end, just I ran into somebody who's like a bit character in a movie. There's like a maintenance guy who was there like cleaning up or whatever, and I'm like completely exhausted, out of breath. I'm just trying. I tell him, I get it out. There's a body, and he's smoking a cigarette, and he literally did like the movie reaction where like his jaw dropped, the cigarette like stuck to his bottom lip and then fell, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he gets into his little like ATV thing and just rushes down the boardwalk. So yeah, that was how I started my week. That was Monday morning.
I didn't even hear about it, so that's not even news.
No, I saved it for the show. Joe heard about it because I saw it the next day.
In the news on Staten
Yeah,
Island.
well,
it's not even a big deal.
So the body was wrapped up as if it was probably dumped.
Like in a garbage
I
bag?
imagine it's part of an ongoing investigation because I've been looking into the news all week myself. But the police were there and everything, so it wasn't a figment of my imagination.
Yeah.
But yeah,
wow.
Very creepy. That was I don't know. Whatever. So that was my story. I hope it was worth sticking around for.
Thanks everyone for listening, and you'll hear us next time.